Hi, it's me, Anya, and welcome back to Cozy Room Podcast. Hey guys, it's Artie. Welcome back to Cozy Room.
Womb, girl.
Woo, girl.
In this episode, the topic and the subject is headphones. Worthy, okay? Do not play in the car with your children unless you've had this discussion. If you haven't had this discussion, let's not play it where it's not appropriate. Thank you for checking out Cozy Womb. Let's get into it. We are in a new tech, dangerous time, okay? Because our kids have access to everything. They don't have to go in a store and go in a certain section of the store to find something they shouldn't have. They don't have to order through the TV any longer to watch something they shouldn't watch. There's less ways for you to blatantly check it on paper. Okay, it's rare that anybody has cable these days, and the commercials are getting a little bit more vulgar and bold. The TV shows are very involved with today's matters that are for adults, but they tiptoe into kids' things. I've seen it. We've seen it. Kids know how to clear the internet settings. Kids know how to use credit cards and enter the info. And if your child has a phone, Android or iPhone, this right here is for you. If your child has friends that have phones and they don't have phones, this right here is for you. If your child has iPads, laptops, a door on their room, this episode right here is for you. If your child is growing and their body and their mind is changing and they're aware and they get uncomfortable when they're watching something and they see someone kissing and you're in the room, or when they hear heavy breathing, they automatically get really uncomfortable and anxious. Or if you tell them not to listen to something, or you skip a song, do they notice the person and say, why you don't allow me to listen to this? Or they are ready for this discussion, and you need to have it. And you need to have it with your child before society has it with your child and tells them something wrong. You need to have this discussion with your child before they're peer pressured into doing something they shouldn't do. You should have this discussion with your child so they know how to maneuver in kid groups, in spaces that they're uncomfortable with, and they know how to carry themselves with confidence. So let's talk. Welcome to Cozy Room Podcast. My name is Shan. I am the mom of girls. I am the host. I am the creator. I am the editor. I am the everything. You can check out more from me on shanbypodden.com. In my opinion, as a parent and as a woman and as a daughter of 4 older siblings that were boys and dealt with SA for a long period of my life, very early. And my mom dealt with SA. Okay, you can look up the abbreviation for that. Body awareness is very important for me to teach my children. People awareness, mannerisms, how to pick real friends. All of that is very important for me. And I say talk to your kids as early as possible today because they have access to too much, too quick, too early. Okay? Everything regarding this is not funny. It's not a laughing matter. Words mean things. Pick up on body language. Pick up on how your child's body is changing. How your child appears to other people, strangers. A lot of kids' bodies are developed earlier. And if someone doesn't know them, they might think that they're old enough, or 20, or 18, or just a short lady, or I thought that was just a short man. No, that's a boy, you know? So you have to have these conversations so they know how to maneuver in situations where they might be approached and you're not around. Explain how the body works, what the body can do, and body safety and body positivity with your kids. Explain words, what words mean, what emojis might allude to, what someone's saying with their body, how someone's talking to you, how not to sit, what not to wear, what not to say. You know, everything is calculated, everything matters. And these kids today have a code of speaking to each other, and you got to be with it. You got to catch on or you'll get lost. Explain self-awareness, how they can be self-aware, how to not put themselves in a position of being the only girl in the area around 6 boys or 3 boys or a boy that they do not know, that they're not comfortable with. And even if they know them, just don't put yourself in that position if you're not ready to defend yourself. I think it's very important also to teach your kids self-defense. And I do want to do a self-defense class with the girls once they're at an age where I can do that with them, to show them how to protect themselves if they're trying to be lifted up, if they're approached from the back, if someone grabs them a certain way, if someone has a weapon and they're faced with someone with a weapon. I want them to know what to do so they don't feel like bait. You know what I'm saying? Explain to your kids young. Don't wait till they're 16. Don't wait till they're 18. Explain to them now, what is alcohol? What are words for alcohol? Anya asked me today, what is a cocktail? Ugh, why is she asking me that? I don't know. But the fact that whatever she saw gave her access to know what that word is, I need to explain it to her in truth. Okay? Explain to them pills, what pills look like. Pills may look like candy right now. Don't take it. Don't take candy from kids at school, because sometimes kids may see something in their house, bring it to school, think it's this, and it's not. Because a lot of drugs look like candy today in a real way. And explain to them about smoking. Explain to them about certain gummies. Cake, not accepting cake from people's homes that they made or my brother made. Try these, or try these cookies. You're so no. You would have to go to the store, buy a pack of cookies, do not open it, bring it to school, have the teacher open it, her try one, get approved, I'll try one. Okay? See that wrapper unsealed. Okay, it's just not safe. And this is a weird one, but it's a must. Explain to your children about masturbation. I think a lot of kids go through their adolescence thinking they're doing something bad by pleasuring themselves or figuring out their body, that their body can do things without having an appropriate, real discussion about it. There's a lot of women in their 30s and their 40s who are just now exploring their bodies or figuring out what their bodies can do. There's a lot of men who are shamed to not do something that they should be free to do. Okay? Now, overdoing anything can become a habit. But shunning something that you know is a human right and something that eventually they will explore anyway, do not shun them. Do not make them feel horrible behind something that's naturally something humans do. Just explain to them what it is. Okay? Explain to them how to fight those urges. Because the last thing you want is a child that's hypersexual once they find out and they have no control. The last thing you want is a girl whose body has developed faster than her personality for that body, and she's uncomfortable with herself. People are trying to be her friend for the wrong reasons. You see it because you're older, but you don't know how to explain it to your child because your child is oblivious. Your child is still acting like they want to go in their room and play with toys. They want to go in their room and play with their dolls, but their chest is saying, oh, you must have a job. Their chest is saying, oh, you look like a young 20-year-old working at a club, a bottle girl. What do you mean you're only 13? You know what I'm saying? You have to have those conversations with your children. And I think a lot of dads feel uncomfortable talking to their daughters, or your mom needs to talk to you, or your dad needs to. I feel like both at any time need to be so comfortable with their child at any time to have that conversation. I don't feel like it should be put on one side or the other. Some things, yes, but not everything. So dads, stop being so uncomfortable with your daughters and thinking, oh, they're just my little princess. They're going to be my little princess forever. They're not. And nobody outside your house is going to treat them like a little princess. So you're not setting them up correctly. These young boys today, they don't treat us like a princess. These young men in their 30s, 40s, they're not all out here treating women like princesses. They're treating women like things, objects, something to conquer and never see again. Okay? So, just know your child has access to porn through video on their phones, on their iPads, on their computer at any time. They have access to pictures, even through Instagram. I have 4 Instagrams, podcasts, purpose. And the people that'll be in your stories are very inappropriate pictures of women that's probably stolen from a page or a website that people make to spam other people's pages. And you'll see butts, you'll see chests, you'll see private parts sometimes. And I don't know what it is, but IG does not catch them fast enough for me. So a lot of my pictures, they're unshareable sometimes. A lot of my pictures are like the only person that could comment on this are people who are following me or people I am following, because they will overtake your page. A lot of people that you feel like have a high following, take some time and go through who's following them. And you'll notice it's a lot of spam. It's a lot of pages from India. No hate on India, but most of that is also spam. People phishing, trying to break into people's accounts and then turn around and email them and say, hey, I've noticed that your account has been hacked. I can help you for a fee, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I can say that because 2 of my accounts have been hacked before. She Gets It page. That's why there's 2 She Gets It page. And Cozy Womb main page that had over 6,000 followers on it. I had to start a new page. So that's why my following is a bit lower on this, but I'm going to build it back up. But I just say that to say they're exposed to seeing things that they may not be ready to see. And so when you're giving them that phone or when you're giving them that iPad, watch them, check it, listen to the videos they're watching on YouTube, listen to the slick comments in the cartoons, watch a video with them, See if it's someone playing with a condom, putting a condom over a shower, thinking it's funny. Ha ha ha. Why would you allow this video to be pushed towards kids and you're playing with condoms? You know what I'm saying? It's like things like that as parents we have to pay attention to. And a lot of these adults on YouTube are adults playfully attracting children to watch their videos while they talk about funny, witty things, or they talk over other videos, but they're very much adult-like. And then your kids start to see their face and their makeup and their hair, and they're just like, I want my hair like that, or I wish I was pretty like that, or That's how it starts. That's how it starts, okay? IG has many IG girls on it, nudes in the icons, inappropriate websites, links that your kids think, oh, I'm going to win X, Y, and Z, or I wanted to play X, Y, and Z games. You could tell them, do not click on any links. Do not click on any links. Do not click to download any games. And they'll still do it because they don't think that this is it. I do not think that this is what my mama's saying. It is what I'm saying. Now you have a virus on the whole computer. It's that quick. All right. And some of your kids are going to do it, and they're going to learn lessons, and you're going to have that talk with them. Whether or not you get them another laptop, that's completely up to you. Okay. Spam emails, friend group chats. There's nudes in there. There's sexual conversations in there. So even if your child hasn't had sex or doesn't know what sex is, you need to tell them, not that group chat. Because people in that group chat can be completely wrong, all right? And of course, there's an age range on what you do explain and how you do explain it, but you need to start having the conversation. We live in a sex-driven society. We have states that are trying to completely free up the marriage age so they can marry children. We have states that have groups of people who are trying to get their attraction to children to be a sexual preference. We have states where kids can get married off to adults as long as the parent signs consent forms to do so. Like, there are things that are actively happening. And if you are not having a conversation with your children, you are leaving them behind. You are not preparing them for what's out here, okay? We live in a society where the government can vote no on making child trafficking a felony. Yes, California. So it makes you wonder, so are y'all for or against child trafficking? Are you trying to stop or continue child trafficking? That child trafficking movie that came out, I can't remember the name right now. Look at how many people didn't support it. Look at how many platforms didn't put it on there to be played, to be seen. Look how hard they had to self-promote that. And so many people said it was really good. I haven't watched it yet, but I will watch it. But things like that make me very upset. Because it just tells me how many loopholes are in our system. Even, the story that came out where there are tunnels under certain hotels that are in cahoots with sex trafficking. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you not want to travel. It makes you scared to be in a hotel room by yourself. People in public taking pictures of other people's kids and saying, did you get it? Do you have the picture? People talking in different languages after they see your kid, or they scoping out where you live, or they're trying to see, okay, are you paying attention to your child in the nail shop? Like, when I am out with my kids, I'm always paying attention. When I'm at the park, I'm always watching who's at the park, what vehicles are around, who's parked next to my truck. Like, it is a unsettling feeling to have your kids at a park these days. And I do not understand how people have kids and just be like, completely okay not going to the park with them and knowing that they're at the park. I would never just like send my kids out at the park. Like, this house in front of one of the parks that we go to that is basically built very modern. They bought the property and they built a very modern home in between two old school small homes. And it's like a sore thumb in that neighborhood because on this side of Atlanta, there are no houses like that. You find those houses like in Buckhead or Dunwoody or Midtown, right? Very beautiful house. New build. It's directly across from the park. I'm telling you, as a parent in 2023, with as much sex trafficking that's going on, especially in Georgia, I would never allow my kids to say, hey, Mom, we're going to the park across the street. Okay, we are all going to the park because I don't know what it's like to have a child be kidnapped. I don't know what it's like to have a child be killed. I don't know what it's like to have a child be missing. I don't know what it's like to have a child be sex trafficked and returned, and you got to rebuild that rapport and figure out what was actually done. And I don't want to know personally, but I will watch the documentaries. I will pay attention to the news. I will listen to other mothers speak, and I will watch for the loopholes in the stories of what the parents could have done and what they didn't do. Okay? And I'm saying that to say, walking to the corner store with your friend is no longer safe when you're a girl or a boy today. The way that I used to walk to the corner store with my dog and tie my dog up at the side of the corner store and walk home by myself. Don't forget to check out shambypotting.com, Cozy Womb Shop. That's where you could get all the merch, get ready for fall, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, all of that. It supports this podcast right here. And don't forget, you can always leave a review. I appreciate those also. And if you would like to use my discount code on tabletopics.com, use shambypotting in all caps. I'm not doing table topics today because I really need to get into this topic. Okay? All right. Or even sometimes walk to the store by myself and walk home. I used to walk miles home from the bus stop after getting off of school, work, getting off of the last bus. The last bus dropped me off at a bus stop that was nowhere near my house at the time at 11:38 p.m. And I used to know when I got off that bus, most people, they getting off this bus and they walking into their neighborhoods and they're going into a shower. I would know I was getting off that bus and my other adventure was going to start. And my other adventure was walking 2.5 miles to the house so I could walk in the house, drop my bags, take a shower, have a nap, wake up at 5:30 to do it again. I would never allow my kids to be walking that late at night from work all the way home in the dark, in Georgia dark, with what's going on right now. It's just something I would never do. But at that time, I did it. And I'm not saying sex trafficking wasn't going on right there, but by the grace of God, nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to me. I'm talking walking till sometimes 1 a.m., 2 a.m., nobody to call to pick me up. Okay? No boyfriend at the time to pick me up. Okay? When I met Ari's dad, I wasn't driving yet. So I was still taking the bus and the train to get to and from work and school. I was in college, and sometimes he would meet me at the bus stop and drive me home. Sometimes he would pick me up from the train, but it wasn't an all the time thing. And I appreciated all the times he could. But the things that I did as a young girl, as a young woman, I would never allow my kids to do that by themselves, because I do not want that call. I do not want to be that mother on the news. That's the times that we're living in. And that's something you have to talk to your kids about, boy and girl, about self-awareness. Looking around in your environment. Did you see that van on Monday? It's Wednesday today. Do you see that same van? Does anyone come out of it? Okay? What's the license plate? What's different today? Is somebody sitting in the bleachers at practice that is not a parent, but you keep seeing them? You walk with your friends. Is there a man or a woman walking behind you? Is there a woman asking you questions? Is there someone taking pictures of you? Do you have like a routine that somebody can track? She gets home at this time. She walks here at this time. She's going to walk the dog at this time. Like, teach your children not to have a blatant routine of what they do and when they do it. Because there's always someone watching today. There's always someone watching today. Okay? There are missing kids. There are missing adults. A lot of people get in trouble because they're trusting the wrong person. And a lot of people don't know how to speak up for themselves in sexual situations. And I say sexual situations because sometimes that could be oral. Teach your child that oral is also sex. Teach your child that penetration of any kind is also sex. Teach them that no is the beginning and ending of the sentence. Teach them how to speak up for themselves, how to have confidence, how it's way better to have responsible sex when you're ready, when you're at an age where you can speak up for yourself, and we can have a conversation about what that was like. Who are you thinking about doing this with? It's real, because let's face it, all of our kids are not going to wait until they're 18 to make that decision, 19 to make that decision, in their 20s to make that decision. I made that decision for myself when I was 17. It was prom night. And I think my mom knew I made that decision, but it was never a conversation. But I feel like she knew, right? And who I did that with was someone I trusted, still trust to this day. Still can call and have a conversation. Still has respect. Okay? I didn't feel pressured to do it. He didn't pressure me to do it. I felt safe. But I wasn't around my parents. I wasn't around my friends when it happened. And I don't know what my children's time is going to be like their first time. But I want them to be able to dictate when that is and with who that is with. And so there's conversations I have to have along the way. Okay? And so, what do you say? When do you say it? And at what age do you tell it to your child? Let's start off with children under 6. Okay? You want to teach them what areas of their bodies they should not be touched by other people. Teach them how to look around and be aware of where the adult is that they came with. Stay close. Don't walk behind your parents. I can't stand when I see kids walking behind their parents in the store, at a park, outside. I don't like it. It takes a few seconds for someone to snatch your kid up. Okay? I don't even let my kids walk off in stores that I'm familiar with. No. Okay? Someone can take them and go out the back. Someone can make a distraction and hit the back exit, and everybody's thinking the back exit has a problem. There's someone trying to run out in the front. Like, there's too many scenarios. I'm not with it. Okay? Teach them about strangers. Teach your children that are 6 years old and below not to overshare their information. Your first and last name, your mom's name, your dad's name, what car do they drive, where you live, your dog. Like, don't give them information they can use to make you feel like they know you, or you know them, or they know your mom, or they know your dad, how to speak up for themselves and how they can tell you anything. Don't keep secrets. You can tell me anything. Have that conversation until it's embedded in their heads. Okay? For children 7 to 12, you need to be talking to them about what sex is, what is consent. No pills, no smoking, no drinking, no gummies. Real friends don't do X, Y, and Z. Respect your body. This is how you respect your body. No one should touch, feel, see, or know anything about your privates. Okay? TFSK. No one should touch, feel, see, or know anything about your privates. That's your mouth, your vagina or your penis, or your butt. For girls, your chest also. No one, your inner thighs, your outside thighs, the small of your back, no one. The size of your face, rubbing your face, playing in your hair. Like, those are grooming tactics, okay? And no is good enough. Teach children ages 7 to 12 that no is good enough. Okay? Teens 13 to 19, you got to up it. You got to get more detail. You got to share your own experiences, okay? Focus on yourself. Teach your teens how to focus on themselves. If you are in a group, you will be grouped. Meaning, if your friends do bad things, people are going to assume you do too. Just because you're their friends, y'all be hanging out. If your friends pick and bully on people, people going to think you also do it. If your friends smoke, people going to think you do that too. If your friend do pills, people going to think you do that too. You know who do that. Because every time I be seeing you, okay? Teach your kids. Be around who respects you. Teach your kids how to be around who respects them. Be around people that they can respect. You don't need to have sex. Embed that in their head. You don't need to have sex. You're not missing anything. I promise you. You don't need to have sex. You're not missing anything. It's way better if you wait for somebody you really care about. Way better. If you feel unsafe, call me. Call my friend, call your dad, call my, your cousin, my nephew, your auntie. Call one of us if you feel unsafe. Have a safe word. Have a word that you're comfortable saying, code words, to your auntie to know that it's an emergency. Send your location. Always share your location. If you have kids, y'all should be sharing locations at all times. At all times. Because you never know. Okay? Self-discipline. Teaching your child self-discipline between 13 and 19. And limiting urges. How to limit their urges. Teach them about it. Tell them about it. Tell them what that may entail. Okay? And I think a lot of people struggle with this, and adults, on what is healthy affection and friendship. Okay, hugs are cool. Holding hands is okay. Respecting people's boundaries if they don't want to be held or touched. Having patience with people. Admiring people naturally. If someone says, I like your outfit, but you should wear skirts like these more. No, thank you, but thanks. Oh, your shirt is cute, but why you bought it so big? You should try crop tops. No, thank you, but thanks. You know, why you never get your nails done? Because it's just not my thing. I just keep them clean and clipped. But thank you. You know, teach them that. Teach them that. And nobody should make you feel like you need to change anything. Nobody should make you feel like you need to change anything about yourself. There's nothing wrong with your hair. There's nothing wrong with your eyebrows. There's nothing wrong with your nose. There's nothing wrong with your lips. There's nothing wrong with your forehead. I got teeth on my forehead, okay? There's nothing wrong with your forehead. There's nothing wrong with your boobs. There's nothing wrong with your shoulders. There's nothing wrong with your legs. I spent so many years as a teenager not wearing shorts or skirts because I hated my legs. When I was in second grade, I think it was in second grade. When I was in second grade, I got chicken pox. And all the spots like scarred me on my legs, on my back, on my arms. And to this day, like, I hate having my back out because of the scars, you know? And I had, like, bad acne as a teen. And I just hate it. Like, I hate having my back out. I feel uncomfortable. So I had a bond with wearing a jacket all the time, just in case. Even if I wore tank tops, I wear a jacket. Or a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? That was my comfort zone. I always took one with me or had one around my waist. And I didn't wear shorts for a very long time. Now it's just like, you know, of course, skin is the biggest organ we have and skin changes, but just holding myself back because of my own discomfort. Teach your child about the fact that your body's going to go through changes. This is the best thing that helped me when I had acne. Try this. This is the best thing that helped my scars. Try this. Like, teach them. Give them tools. Explain to your children what is real versus fake as far as friendships, personality, what a friend would do in this situation, what someone who's not your friend would do in this situation. Teach them to be around people who are not trying to change them, and teach them how to make protective choices. Like, your friends are like, girl, having a party at his house today, but you gotta skip school, just come with us. And you just like, no, I'm cool. I'm gonna go to class. That is a protective choice, because who knows what's gonna happen at that house? Who knows who's going to be at that house and how safe you will be when your parents think that you're at school and you at somebody's house that they don't have the address for. Don't teach your children not to put themselves in a situation that's going to be a long story where they had no business being in the first place. Okay? Teach your children not to ride with friends of a friend of a friend that you don't know what they do and what they carry in a car. Okay? Especially if you're in a Republican state, because accomplices get the same time that the main person got who was driving. Y'all all in the car, same charge. Should have been at class. Should have been in school. Should have just took the bus home. Should have just walked. Should have said no. Should have, would have, could have. Okay? This is where it starts. So have to talk about it. Okay? When it comes to porn, for a lot of people, they feel like porn is horrible. Don't get into porn. You'll create this habit. You won't be able to stop. It sounds like when people, when I got my first tattoo, the guy was like, oh, you'll be back next week for another one. I was like, no, I won't. I got my first tattoo at 18, and I didn't go back for another tattoo in 2 years. I think some people have an addictive personality and some people don't. Hopefully, I have children that don't, but if I do, I'm going to see that that's who they are. I need to steer them away on this side. I need to put people in their lives that'll help them stay on this side of it, you know? So, I think sometimes porn for adults can be educational if they don't know what something is, if they don't understand something, just to know what it is, to be aware of it. And I think as parents, you have to just peek in there to see what's going on, to see if it matches your child's text, what they be talking about, and be like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about. We need to have a conversation. Like, you can't just block that out and act like it doesn't exist because you don't want your child watching it. You have to poke your head in there one time. Look, what is this? What is that? Oh, okay. I know what that word means now. Get out. Okay? Be proactive, not reactive. And that's all I got to say about that, okay? It will happen as long as they have an iPhone, cell phone, Android, iPad, tablet. Their friends got it. They have too much access for you not to say something. Say something. Make it a regular conversation. Don't make it something that's very like walking on eggshells. Oh my God, I don't want to have that conversation with you, mom. You're my mom, or you're my dad. I don't want to talk about that. We gonna talk about it because it's normal. It exists. You don't live in a bubble, okay? Let's be real. Thank you for checking out Cozy Women Podcast. Good luck on your talk, but please have the talk. Okay, you do not want them learning about this from someone that doesn't have their best interests. I'm telling you. Peace. Be a good parent. Bye.
Bye.
When you visit Arizona, time is measured in moments, not minutes. Like the moment you see the Grand Canyon for the first time. Visit a new state of mind. Learn more at hereyouareaz.com.